Everyone, welcome to the Flagler weather update. Today is the 9th of August 2025. We'll be taking a look at local weather. We'll be taking a look at the tropics. We'll be taking a look at the expected forecast and what's expected with local conditions and such here in Flagler County. So, taking a look at satellite imagery here, you can see now this one's kind of unique. Not only does it show us satellite imagery, also shows us thunderstorms. And closest lightning right now, Flagler County being like right about here. Closest lightning right now is down towards Orlando here. We got some out towards the Gulf Coast. And even though we got some showers offshore, we don't have any lightning with that, at least just yet. We could as this activity moves in. So this kind of gives us the forecast. Things are going to be kind of changeable and unsettled as we go through the next several days. Does not mean that every day is going to be a washout. It does not mean it's going to rain all the time. It's just going to kind of be like it's been, where the rain just kind of comes and goes, and more often than not, it's dry more times than it is raining during a given day. So let's go ahead and talk about the tropics right now, because that's, getting into everyone's mind, and we are getting to the busier point of the hurricane season. And we do have two things out here. So let's go into these. First item here is a weak disturbance. Let's get my mouse back. And this disturbance is right over the central Atlantic, and it's forecast to move generally north, and it has really no chance of developing right now, but in the next 7 days, it has a very minimal chance of organizing out over the central and north Atlantic Ocean as it moves off to the north and northeast. This one is not a problem for anybody, for the exception of ships, couple islands out there, and transatlantic aircraft. But even then, this has a very minimal chance of developing. So the next system known to one that's of interest is the one coming off of Africa, which is right about here now. It's not going to have a chance to develop right now, but as it moves out into this area, somewhere in this amber colored region, it's going to be in a better environment. It's going to have an opportunity to develop, and it has a 60% chance of developing in the next 7 days. So it's likely a tropical depression is going to form somewhere in this corridor. Of course, then the $8 million question, where does it go? Well, there's all kinds of crazy model runs and stuff like that and everything, and then I don't want to get into any of that because those models will change 8 million times, so there's no sense in causing alarm or false sense of security. So we're not going to talk about, where it may go if it even organizes. There's a 60% chance of organization right now. These updates come out. This is the latest one at 8 o'clock. They come out about every 6 hours or so. So these chances can go higher or lower, too, as things evolve. But this is as the way things stand right now. And it's just something to watch. It's if anything does come out of this, it's at least about a little better, right around a week and a half, 2 weeks away from getting into the region if it does come our way. But right now, it's just something to watch. It's nothing to be worried about. Let's take a look at satellite imagery now, and that system I was just talking about is way, way, way over here, just off the coast of Africa. So it's a long way away from us, and there's a million different things that can happen. So again, just don't worry about it. Stay informed, but don't worry about it. But always be prepared because, things can sometimes spin up, unexpectedly closer to home. Now, before the satellite makes its loop here, I want you to note this area right here. There's a lot of Saharan dust mixed up in here, and that's probably why this system cannot get organized, and it's eventually going to travel off to the north. But the one that we'll be watching in the days ahead is one coming off the coast of Africa. So, at least for right now, and again, we'll be keeping you updated on that as we get information from the National Hurricane Center. Now, taking a look at the long-range tropical development, what this is, what this does is, we just got some lightning flashing off the East Coast here, just got notice of that. What this does is this is kind of a forecast of where tropical development may occur in the long term, beyond 7 days. So right now there is about a 40% chance of maybe something getting going here somewhere out to the east of the Windward Islands. Again, this is something that hasn't even happened yet, so it's just to be aware of. There's a lesser chance of development off the coast of Africa, and this takes us from August 13th to August 19th. And then looking further beyond that, from the August 20th to August 26th, very low chance of development in the central tropical Atlantic, as represented by these slash lines. That's about 20% chance there. So, again, just, hurricane season's, we're getting into the busier part of it, and you're going to expect this type of activity and these type of outlooks as we go through hurricane season. Now, let's take a look at our local weather, and what we got going on is not directly tropical by any stretch. We do have a front that's kind of decaying, stalled over the area. That's why things are so unsettled. And as we get to Sunday, that front is still here, but it's weakened some, but still giving us a chance of very heavy rain to the north, but running chance of showers or thunderstorms at any time for us. And Monday, that kind of continues. So let's take a look at our forecast now for tonight. Rain chances for tonight. Right now, we're looking at about a 60% chance of showers and storms during those overnight hours. Better chances along the coast, because that's where the activity is coming in from, is the beaches. Now, for tomorrow, we're looking at about an 80% to 90% chance of rain county-wide. Again, does not mean it's going to be a washout. It means that it's very likely some point between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. you will see some rain that will come through. Could be a lot of it, could be just a little. And as we go into tomorrow night, still very high rain chances. I called up the wrong one. Tomorrow night, rather, we're looking at pretty good rain chances for nighttime. About a 50% chance. Again, coastal areas favored. And as we get into Monday, rain chances still pretty high, but they start to edge down just a tiny bit. About 70 to 75% chance of rain. Monday night, those rain chances start to drop off quite a bit as things start to change. And we're starting to see our daytime rain chances now down to about 60%. And then as we go into Tuesday night, maybe less than 20% chance of rain. And as we get into Wednesday, about a 50% chance of rain. But notice that the better chances are Bunnell westward, about a 40% chance east coast. And as we go into Wednesday, kind of the same trend there. As we go into Thursday, maybe things bumped up just a little bit, but the better chances in the inland locations and staying relatively dry at night. End of the week, we're looking at still maybe 60% chance inland, maybe 40 to 50% at the beaches. How much rain are we going to get? Looking at total rainfalls for the next 7 days. Anywhere from an inch, inch and a half east side of the county, maybe 2 inches on the west side of the county. How about temperatures? How's things going to be looking as we go through the weekend and in the next week? Well, that's where things are going to be changing here. So tonight, looks like lows in the 70s, near 80 at the beaches. Tomorrow, high temperatures near 90, upper 80s beaches or so, maybe mid 80s at the beaches. And a lot of cloud cover and such is going to be suppressing the temperatures. But again, mild at night, 75 to 80. And those nighttime temperatures are pretty much consistent through the week. But as we get into Monday, still peaking near 90. We're getting into Tuesday. Now it's a little hotter. We're getting into Wednesday now, the skipping ahead. Now we're into the mid 90s. So yes, things will be heating up as we get into the middle part of this week. And as we get into Thursday, still the mid 90s there. But, as we get into Friday, mid 90s pretty largely across the county, a little bit cooler at the beaches. But what's important, though, in looking at nighttime temperatures, even all the way to the end of the week, so consistent, mid to upper 70s. Now, heat index is what matters. And for, let's see here. For Sunday, 100, 105 degrees. Okay, that's not that big. That's kind of regular for us. But as we get into Monday, starting to edge up now, 109 degrees inland locations. As we get into Tuesday, now we're getting into heat advisory criteria here, 110 degrees in some locations. As we get into Wednesday, that 110 gets wider, so things are definitely heating up. It's getting hotter out there. As we get to Thursday, 112 degree heat index numbers, 113, 116 degrees, western parts of the county. Yes, it is going to be heating up. These are heat index numbers, mind you, but heat index is important because if it feels like 113 degrees, that's what your body is going to respond to. And dehydration and heat illness and all that stuff. Go to the end of the week, and we're still looking pretty toasty here. Heat index numbers pretty widely 110 or better, 112, and inland locations maybe flirting with 115. So don't be surprised to see heat advisories or even excessive heat warnings by the end of the week. So taking a look at our longer range forecast now as we go into the middle part of August, and let's get zoomed in here. So we're looking at generally a good chance of above normal temperatures, about a 65% chance of above normal temperatures. No, not just because it's summer, it's hot. This is hotter than normal temperatures expected, and just a little bit of chance of above normal rainfall as we go through that time period. And then as we go into 8 to 14 days going further on, we're looking, this takes us to August 23rd. Again, pretty good chances of above normal temperatures and just a little slight chance of above normal precipitation for us here in Flagler County. Now let's take a look at wildfires. So you've been smelling smoke out there. What's going on? We've got 3 wildfires going on the southeast part of the county. These are all contained, meaning they are not, active, where they're still could be smoldering, but they're not threatening anybody. This one's a half acre, and we have another one out here. This one is 2.5 acres, and the last one, they have some unique names for these fires here. This one's about 20 acres. All of these 100% contained, but with a south wind, you might, these are still smoldering. So with a south wind, you might smell that smoke, especially at night or in those early morning hours. So, folks, that's going to wrap things up. Again, pretty busy satellite. Things look to stay unsettled as we go into the first part of the week. But as we get into the second part of the week, those rain chances begin to decrease, but temperatures start to increase with perhaps getting into heat advisory criteria, if not excessive heat warning criteria, by Thursday or Friday this upcoming week. Our next update is scheduled for maybe Wednesday, depending how things shake out. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great evening. And again, if you're just joining us and you've missed the presentation, you can rewind it. We will also be placing the YouTube link up on our page.